I never thought I would find myself standing in the dark hallway of my own home, heart racing, eavesdropping on the very people I once trusted the most. It felt surreal, like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. The muffled voices of Jude and his parents seeped through the door, their laughter a dagger twisting in my gut, slicing through the fragile peace I had tried so hard to maintain, each chuckle echoing the betrayal I felt deep in my bones. In that moment, I felt like a ghost in my own life, invisible and unwanted, a mere shadow of the vibrant woman I used to be before I sacrificed my career for motherhood, my dreams reduced to whispers in the corners of my mind. I leaned closer, my breath shallow as I caught snippets of their conversation, words laced with contempt directed at me, the woman who had given up everything for this family, and with each cruel jab, I felt my heart splinter further. Jude's voice, usually warm and inviting, now dripped with condescension as he dismissed my contributions and ambitions, painting me as a mere housewife, a title I had never embraced. And in that moment, I could feel my identity slipping away from me. His mother's voice, sharp and critical, chimed in, urging him to take control of me, as if I were some errant child, rather than his partner and the mother of his children, my heart racing with indignation and sorrow. The betrayal stung like ice water, a chilling realization that the love I thought we shared was buried beneath layers of misunderstanding and resentment, leaving me gasping for air in a sea of confusion. As I stood there, I felt the walls of my world closing in, each word a reminder of the isolation I had felt for years, the way they had treated me like an outsider in my own home, a feeling that had become all too familiar. I had given up my career, my friends, my identity, all to build a life that now felt like a gilded cage. And suddenly, the thought of escape flickered in my mind like a desperate flame, igniting a wild hope I hadn't dared to entertain. That night, I made the decision. If they were plotting against me, I would not give them the satisfaction of seeing my defeat. I would take my children and leave under the cover of darkness, fueled by a mix of fear and a newfound determination. I packed a few essentials, trying to be silent, my heart pounding with fear and exhilaration as I tiptoed past the sleeping forms of Jude and his parents, my children blissfully unaware of the storm brewing in the depths of my soul. The cool night air hit my face like a wake-up call, invigorating and terrifying. As I loaded the car, each click of the trunk echoing my resolve to reclaim my life, to show my children a world where they would feel loved and valued, not like pawns in a game I never wanted to play. Once on the road, I felt the weight lift ever so slightly, but panic gnawed at the edges of my mind. Where would we go? What would I do? My heart raced with uncertainty, each mile feeling like a leap into the unknown. I reached out to Clara, an old friend who had always encouraged me to find my voice. When she answered, her warmth enveloped me like a safety blanket, a reminder that I wasn't alone, that perhaps I could still fight for the life I deserved. Clara wasted no time, connecting me with a lawyer who specialized in custody battles, her fierce determination igniting a flicker of hope within me, a hope I hadn't dared to feel for so long. But as the days turned into weeks, I found myself drowning in uncertainty, the court dates looming overhead like dark clouds, each one a reminder of the fight ahead and the fear that I might lose everything I was fighting for. I felt the stares of the courtroom, the judgment, as I struggled to present myself as a capable mother, battling the image Jude and his family had painted of me, a mere shadow of the woman I fought to be. Every time I had to face Jude, I felt my heart shatter a little more. He was still the man I loved, but the man sitting across from me was a stranger, hardened by his family's influence, and I could see the flicker of regret in his eyes, but it was always overshadowed by his need to maintain control. Our conversations were tense, a mix of accusations and painful memories, each word tinged with bitterness, and I could feel the emotional chasm between us widening, a gap filled with unspoken hurt and lingering affection. The day of the final hearing arrived, and I stood in front of the judge, trembling. I had to prove that I was more than just a stay-at-home mom, that I deserved to keep my children, my heart racing with both fear and fierce determination. With every question, I felt the weight of my choices bearing down on me, but I fought back tears, summoning every ounce of strength I had to articulate my love and dedication, my voice trembling yet resolute. When the judge finally ruled in my favor, I felt the floodgates open. It was as if all the pain and struggle had been validated in that single moment, a testament to my resilience that felt like a lifeline thrown into turbulent seas. I left the courthouse with my children, the sun shining down as if the universe was celebrating my victory. But deep inside, I knew the battle was far from over, the ache of unresolved love still heavy in my chest. Jude and I met for coffee to discuss the next steps, and as we sat across from each other, I could see the cracks in his bravado. Beneath his arrogance lay fear, confusion, and an unexpected longing, a reminder of the bond we once shared. We exchanged apologies raw and honest, the silence between us heavy with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. The kind of silence that had once felt comforting now felt like a chasm we both feared to cross. In that moment, I realized that while our relationship may never return to what it once was, we could at least move forward with mutual respect for the family we created together, a bittersweet acknowledgement of what had been lost. As I walked away from that meeting, I felt lighter, like a weight had been lifted. I was no longer a victim, but a woman ready to embrace her future, ready to reclaim her identity and rebuild the life I had almost forgotten. The journey ahead was uncertain, but with each step, I felt the embers of my own dreams reigniting inside me, a flicker of hope that I could build a better life for my children and myself, a life filled with purpose and joy. I wanted them to see strength, resilience, and the importance of standing up for oneself. To know that love does not mean losing oneself in the process, but rather, it can be a catalyst for finding oneself again. The road ahead would be bumpy, filled with challenges and moments of doubt, but I was determined to find my footing again, to create a life where I could thrive, not just survive, with the love and support of my children guiding me. This wasn't the end of my story, it was merely a new beginning, a chance to rewrite my narrative, filled with love, strength, and above all, self-worth. A chance to reclaim the woman I had lost along the way. Thank you for watching. For more real stories and powerful dramas, be sure to like, subscribe, and explore our I Will View 2 channel. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting us and transforming your love life with the Make Him Worship You program, linked in the description. It's a game changer for any woman seeking the love she truly deserves.